three. From Boston town, we are bound away. Heave away, Santiano. Around Cape Horn to Frisco Bay, we are bound for California.
I'm Jerry and this is Bruce, and we go by now the Boys of Bay City as a duo. We ended up being here. We're involved with tall ships up in Bay City, and John McCarty called our director Shirley Roberts to find out if there was if she had any musicians available or knew of some people she could get. And I know Shirley quite well, and Shirley called me up, and I started thinking, oh, what groups do I know? And then I thought, oh, hey, well, maybe we could play. So I gave John a call and we set it up, and it was a lot of fun being here.
The great thing about this kind of music is there's not a lot of people that do it, but the people that do it are extremely friendly, extremely welcoming. We have been invited all over Europe to, well, Jerry is in charge of getting the entertainment for our tall ships in Bay City every 3 years. Next one coming up in 2019. And so I'm fortunate to go along with Jerry on these trips to the Netherlands.
Well, no, we're fortunate to be able to just go together.
We've been to Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, France,
Poland, Finland.
Yeah, God. It's just spectacular.
Now
Life
Ireland
is good.
Coming up. So.
Ireland is coming up next month. Life is good.
Johnny come down the high low, poor old man. Oh, winter, shake her, oh, shake that gal with a bluegrass song. Johnny come down the high low, poor old man. Thank you, and thanks for having us at your beautiful museum.
When we decided to call the new museum the National Museum of the Great Lakes, that was purposeful. We wanted to tell stories about Great Lakes history that had a national connection to the history of the country at large. We wanted people in Kentucky and Arkansas and California to understand that Great Lakes history has impacted them over the last 300 years. So we created exhibits using artifacts, original images, and content material that told stories that were important to the nation's cultural heritage. We emphasized things that not only did we have an interesting artifact that would help explain that story, but that story had to be important enough that people outside the immediate Great Lakes could understand it.
There is so much to do here at the National Museum of the Great Lakes for people of all ages. We designed it in a way that it was going to be enjoyable for all ages to come in. So that, we have a lot of hands-on exhibits. We're truly a blend of the historical museum and a hands-on museum where we blend the historical artifacts with great stories and then also hands-on exhibits that make us really a destination point for families of all ages. So we have a really great 2-day event coming up. It's called Wreckapalooza. It's a symposium all about shipwrecks.
Wreckapalooza. This is our second annual shipwreck symposium. It runs over the course of 2 days, but separated, so June 3rd and October 7th. And we bring in, throughout the 2 days, 4 esteemed nautical archaeologists from around the Great Lakes to talk about shipwreck finds. These shipwreck stories, these are where the Great Lakes population came from. This is how we were developed, and this is how goods and people were moved. And so these are our stories. These are the things that are, I think, important to learn about. Shipwrecks as a whole, I think, seem kind of exciting, but and people enjoy talking about finding them, but the thing that Wreck-A-Palooza does is it brings it in, I think, just a little bit more. There's a little more to the story. It's not just the finding, it's not just the history, but now we're going to talk about what's actually down there and what archaeology has taught us about the ship, about the people on board, about the accident, you name it. What is it that we've been able to gain from doing a scientific investigation to it?
Alex Cook is a gentleman who's been a part of our organization for over 50 years. He is an amazing artist. This past year, or just recently, we kind of finished off one of his bucket list things. He had this idea for a kids book for years called Kitty Smoke. And through a grant from PNC, we were able to bring it to fulfillment. And we just recently received the final product. And we were very excited to be bringing this out to the community. It's basically like a little engine that could kind of book. It's geared toward about second grade, first grade, second grade in reading level. But it's just absolutely beautiful, and we're very excited to be presenting that to the community. So every year, the National Museum of the Great Lakes has a major fundraiser. This year it is on September 30th. It'll be over at the new Renaissance Hotel in downtown Toledo. As part of our H2O fundraiser, we do what's called the Luck of the Lakes raffle. These raffle tickets are $100 a piece, or 3 for $250. Top prize is $10,000 in cash. The second prize is a freighter trip. All of this money goes back to supporting everything that we do here at the National Museum of the Great Lakes. Again, this is one of our biggest fundraisers throughout the year, and we're excited to be doing this now. Whether you're from the Great Lakes or you're a transplant who moved into the area, you really ought to come down and check out this museum if you haven't been down here yet. It's really got so many artifacts, so many amazing exhibits and things for people of all ages to come down and to explore it. You really walk away with a renewed sense of how impactful the Great Lakes are on the country. So we urge everybody to come down and really check it out. We're here all summer. It's our busy season, so it's a good time to come down and check it out. You can get more information about us at www.inlandseas.org. It's INLANDSEAS.org. Or you can call us at 419-214-5000 for more information.
The land shadow, how not to see you.
There's a lot of Irish music that is written by shantymen on the ships, and we were really into the Irish music, and in the sea shanties just kind of became a regular staple. And then just being around the tall ships and with the big sails and everything is just awe-inspiring. If you've lived around the Great Lakes, it's hard to live anywhere else.